Ooh, some people are not gonna like this video. But I got some good and I have some bad news. So we're gonna start with the bad news. I need to be really honest with you. Some of you all are working on being creative, doing the best you can to be creative, and you keep on finding yourself getting stuck back in a rut, kind of feel like you're losing your creativity. And I don't want to attack 9-to-5 jobs, but I want to show you this because if you can see this, you'll realize it's not you, it's just the situation you're in. And I also hope to give you a different perspective. And these are three reasons, very big reasons why your job is stealing your creativity or taking your creativity away. And by the way, I'm kind of bringing you guys along. Actually, we're gonna go the other way. I saw a cool marketplace the other way. We're gonna have a little talk. So the first thing I wanna really let you guys know, because I know so many of you are really working hard to live life on your own terms. And I wanna keep you inspired and let you know a lot of times it's not you, it's just kind of what the patterns that you've been taught and how long you've practiced, they're just wired deep within you. So the first way that creativity really goes away is because if you think about how a job structure is set up, a 9-to-5, there's rules, there's regulations, there's very staying in between the lines. And this is a way that is totally opposite when it comes to creativity. And also, by the way, before I get into it, I created something for you all. Last night I was really inspired. It's linked in the description below if you're interested. It's literally a masterclass on exactly what I'm about to teach you and what I'm about to tell you, and it's gonna help show you how you can break it in some very simple ways, more simple than you thought. But back to what I was saying about the rules, is there's so many rules. If you're working in a job, you're used to so many rules. Having to go up the food chain, you wanna have a cool idea, think about how long it takes for you if you have a great idea to get it processed and get everyone on the same page. You have to go through a lot of paperwork, probably talk to a lot of people, and most of the time, people are gonna look at you like, no, let's just do it the way that everyone's always been doing it. And that's what kind of jobs are, and school is as well. In this masterclass, for you all who take it, who are really serious about shifting the mentality, I want you to know that it's not the 9-to-5, it's the 9-to-5 mentality. That's where the shifts happen and the conditioning really starts to hurt you. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's a 9-to-5 mentality. The rules, the regulations, thinking you have to do it. Whereas when you're being creative and you're creative, there's not a limit. If I need to make this video for you, if I had to make this for a job and I have to be in a very quiet place with great lighting, I couldn't be just walking around here in a park, for example. So some of you all who want to create, you will see something like this, me walking around, and I'll be like, why don't you just walk around with a camera? It doesn't even, it sounds so unprofessional and so, in so many ways, like, no. Where when you're creative, it's like, why wouldn't I share a thought when I have it? Like, why wouldn't I do that? So this is like one of the first reasons, the first ways that it really takes away your creativity is because it's a mindset. It's a 9-to-5 mindset. And then for you all who are really serious about shifting that, it's called Shift 95. And it's in the description below. It will blow your minds, I promise you. It'll be totally worth it. But let's stay on topic. I'm gonna go around here and think of the second one I want to share with you. I've got so many, but I'm only gonna share 3. See a little markets going on here. And I'd have to say that the number 2 way that it is really starting to steal and hurt, and by the way, Mexico City, for you all who are just joining me, I say another way that it really hurts your creativity is time changes for you. When you're in the 9-to-5 mentality, time changes. Meaning, if you want more money, you usually have to give more time. And I can tell you from experience, and even before by just taking people's advice, that it's not true in the creative space. You all who will take the Shift 95 in the description below, I'm gonna give you guys some real life examples that'll probably blow your mind of how I'm able to utilize my time. But it teaches you that more time means more money. In the creative field, it doesn't work like that. Oh wow, so much. Good old Mexico. Whoa. So about time, when it comes to time, you think more time means more money. And then the creative space, I won't get into it here, but I give very good examples and show you how to do it in Shift 95, link below. Wink, wink. It's for people who are serious. I promise you, it's totally worth it and so affordable. But one of the things with time is when you're creative, you can collapse time pretty easily. Meaning, if I know I need to make 10 videos, if it's a job, you think, well, 10 videos, that's 10 days. So 10 days for 10 videos. But when you get into creative space, and you take away those rules and regulations, you're like, well, I can just shoot 6 videos in one day if I feel energized. There's no time. I can film this in the day or in the night. I can do this anytime. So you start to collapse time, because what would take you think 10 days can take you a day. And you can do it on your terms, not in between certain hours, and maybe certain days you don't feel like it. One of the biggest shifts that I see when it comes to being creative is, for example, weekends. It's crazy for me. Like, and a lot of people who have been out of kind of working for a long time, out of like the very structured way of doing things. Because what happens is when you have a weekend, you're like, well, do I even need a weekend? Like, what if on Saturday I don't feel motivated to go out, but I have to go out then, even though I don't feel like it? It changes time for you. You can be inspired on a Wednesday to go out and do this stuff, but because you're working or because you're in the shift, like I gotta wait till the weekend, a lot of times by the time the weekend comes, is your motivation up or down? And that's kind of for me, one of the big shifts that I see that came with mentality when I've met a lot of digital nomads and people who are living in the creative space. And the thing is, if you don't, and I talk about this in Shift 95, I really woke up motivated to film it for you, is if you don't change these habits, when you go into your, whatever it is, and this is my hallucination, if you don't take these shifts and you take the 9 to 5 mentality and you take it into your private life, and when you're not working a job, you'll burn yourself out because there's no limits anymore. So if you're used to working harder, there's more money, you have 24 hours a day free now. You'll burn yourself out. You'd almost be better off staying in the 9 to 5, where at least you can't work when work is over. And it's a very defined, clear when it's over. And that'll be whoa, what on earth is this? Whoa, it's like a squirrel feeding place. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I know I get distracted, but wow. Okay. That's pretty interesting. All right. And the final thing that I'd like to leave with you all, and I really hope this has been not offensive. Well, if it is, that's not on me. I hope that it really shifts your mindset to realize that your environment, it's the one thing I think people totally forget about. It's so important, the environment that you're in, the people that you're around. When you're around a lot of people who have a mentality like this, who have I say 9 to 5 mentality, like I say, I don't mean it in a negative way. Oh, hola. I mean it in a way that you're around a lot of people who are doing the same exact thing over and over. You're with people who have been in a place for maybe 20, 30, 40 years. So they're not really interested in shifting it a lot of times. Or you're around people who, as soon as you say something, people are just like, shut up and do your job. And so you're not around people who have broken, kind of free of that mentality, and realize that you can live life on your terms. So many of you say, I really want to do this, Luke. I've been working on my business, but I don't think you really want it. Because I promise you, change can happen like that. One of the things I realized being a pro athlete, I've seen a lot of people in the comments like, pro athlete, yes, I was a pro athlete for 12 years. And one of the things that I realized for a lot of people was they say, I can't afford to travel, I can't do all this stuff, or I can't really start this business. But then I see them going out to eat, and I'm like, you guys are spending more than me, and I make more than you. Like, where does that add up? And you're around a lot of people who kind of do the same things all the time. And one thing I'll tell you from hanging out with millionaires, hanging out with people who are happy and they don't have anything, is the way that they use their time. The way that they use their time is different in the environment that they're in. And when you can get around people who can inspire you, you can get around people who are doing what you want to do. Like, you guys see me here, and it's like I'm a real person, but you haven't seen me. But if you were to come and you were to travel around, I've met other people who are nomads who have been traveling for 4 or 5 years, or who've been traveling for 6 months, and I learned something from them. And you can never top boots on the ground. Boots on the ground almost trumps everything. And proximity, as my mentor always says, proximity is power. You need to be around people who are doing what you want to do, and be around people who are doing better than you, so you can pay them, so you can reach out to them, so you can talk to them, so you can see what it is that they do. The reason why I look at myself as why I was a very successful basketball player was because I took something from everyone. If a player did better than me, not even a better player, if he did better than me, after the game we were talking. Like, yo, how'd you hit me with that move? And it's always the same. Like, I hit you with the elbow when the ref wasn't looking. That's always the thing. But you get around people like this and you learn. And you turn your experiences of, like, for example, me being here in Mexico City, I've been able to meet so many different people, so many different digital nomads, so many different people who are doing what it is that I love to do. And I see the way that they've done it. Because I'm telling you a way that's worked for me. And then I promise you, in Shift 95, what I just recorded for you guys this morning is super powerful with some crazy shifts for you. I guarantee, trust me, it will not be a waste. It's about a 47-minute video, and you're gonna wanna sit down with a notepad. And for you all who are really serious about it and trying to get out of this shift, this will give you a lot of the tools you need to get out. And I guess the last thing that I'll say is that, you know, it's a mentality. And you are where you are because of the choices that you've made. The choices you've made have got you where you are. And the choices come from the questions that you ask yourself. You know, and some people don't even ask the question of, like, do I want to be here in 6 months? Do I want to live in this country for another year? These are powerful questions because when you can get the answers to that, you know, what do I need to do next? So when people say that they really want to do it, they don't really want to do it. I can't even tell you how many times I met with people when I was a pro and people were like, oh, you're a pro athlete, that's amazing, let's train. I said, awesome. I'll be here at 5:40 every single morning for the next 2 weeks. Guess how many people showed up? If I said this to about 30, 40 people, how many think showed up? One person. One person. And the crazy thing is the one person who showed up, they already were a pro athlete. They just been out for a while. People don't want it. And I think if you can be honest with yourself like that, that'll bring you a lot of peace. Because if you realize, like, I'm just cool being comfortable, then at least you don't have to beat yourself up anymore because you can be honest. And if you're serious about it, get help. Find people who are doing it. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien,
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. Los Estados Unidos.
¿Ah,
Sí,
sí?
¿y tú?
Habla muy bien el español colombiana.
Oh, colombiano, me encante. Gracias, hasta luego. They're from Colombia and ask me where I'm from, America. Yeah, and I think that sometimes when you can get around people, as I said, who can shift your mentality, who you can learn something from, pick up something small from, that makes all the difference. One conversation, I promise you, can change your entire life. I heard one conversation and that changed everything for me. Literally for me, one shift changed my entire perspective. One thing. Someone said, hey, I think you're good enough to be a pro. That planted a seed in my mind that I'll never forget. So if you guys are really serious about shifting the mentality, Shift 95 has been recorded. Click it. When you purchase it, go back to merchant. It takes you straight to the video. If you have any problems, send me an email and I'll get you the link directly. I put it up there really quick. I'll put it in something more pleasing for the eye with better aesthetics to have my team do that later, but I want to get it out for you. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. I want you guys to be happy and as happy as you can be in the moment. And some of you, if you're honest with yourself, you're not. And I want this for you, but you have to want it for yourself. So speak to you later. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll speak to you soon. And in the meantime, everyone always remember to work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile. Ciao.